Oh, it's the next day. I cooled down. I don't have a headache anymore. You can look at our engine. So I figured out the water outlet deal. So this is the outside, you know, the hot. This is a little valve that's on here. This is, you can either have this, or you can just freaking just run it. I think I'm probably gonna need the valve, but someone was saying, oh, I can do, you know, the thermostat this, and I'm like, but, the thermostat is, I believe it's right over here. Where is the thermostat on this sumbitch? See, I'm learning. This engine is yeah, thermostat's going right there. This is a learning curve for me. This is my first ever experience with a diesel engine. This is another reason why I'm doing this. I was really hoping to do this because diesel's different. It's different, and I mean, it's amazing technology, I think. I mean, look at this. It's a little 4-cylinder, and the thing can shake the air. I'm a little worried taking that manifold off. I do want to, because I'm thinking of maybe flipping this and putting the turbo on top, and then that way we won't have this crap. And also that'll give me a lot more room for exhaust stuff, and it'll get this away from the air conditioning unit and get it up over here. I'm thinking this turbo will get heat wrapped. I know there's going to be a lot of heat wrapping to reduce engine heat. So my other thing though is moving the turbo. I'm going to have to make a different return pipe. You know, if that pipe, I don't think that's anything high pressure, so I could probably just get a big oil or a hose made for oil, and we could probably just splice this and slip it on there and remove it somewhere, or we can have some stainless steel braided to it, crimp to it, or whatever. But the big thing I want to do today is find me a box for stuff. I think I'm going to use that one. But I want to get some of this, like, janky wiring. Oh yeah, this is all Ford wiring right here. This is all for the starter and the alternator. We got a couple of wires here. Let's see. One should be for power. I don't know. I guess that's not. No, we're gonna run some big wires on that. But one wire is for the is it ground maybe? I don't know. I'm scared. This engine can be started with one battery. The dude fired it up with a freaking Optima battery, like that big, and it like just went burp, 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 burp. It didn't even sound like it was low on energy. It started up just like it would if you had two batteries. So I think we're just gonna do one nice heavy duty battery. But what I was gonna say until I distracted myself. So you have this, and then you pull this little sumbitch out, and then you just run a pipe thing in there, and that's where you get your suction, your return back into the engine. So we're going to remove some unneeded stuff. I think we're gonna get this belt off of here. Maybe the tensioner, get this old hose up here. I'm pretty sure I can use my current hose that I have on my truck now. Just this one, I'm gonna have to get one that's just comes down, goes that way, and then I'll cut the one that's on the truck now, and we'll just join it with a 2.5-inch pipe. I could probably use a piece of this, but I'm just worried about this stuff rusting. So I'm gonna figure out, maybe I'll get a piece of brass hose or something and real thick, and then we'll just join it together that way. I need to get something with really just needs to be like that long, and it has to have two flares on it, really, just so the hoses don't slip off. But this needs to come off, and judging by the color of the inside of that, they used green coolant. So I'm going to use whatever fancy stuff the Cummins likes to use. And if it just happens to be what I'm running in the truck, well then that's what we're going to run. This thing needs an oil change, I think. It's a little dirty. And when I mean a little, I mean like, oh my god. But it's not milky, so. Then again, you know, diesel oil is usually a little bit dirtier, so this could have 1,000 more miles left to go on it. Oh my god, it's here. So I was reading online that one guy took a clutch kit for a Ford Mustang, and then I believe he utilized the flywheel that's in this, took it to a machine shop, had him rebalance it and make new holes for the Mustang clutch, which then was now adaptable to the stock flywheel. And then they were able to take the Mustang clutch and slide it over the ZF5. I believe that's what he was using, was the ZF5. Well, see? It even says Ford on it right here. 4-bolt tranny. If I wanted to use a T19, I'd just slap it right in here, but I don't want a T19. This thing ain't moving. I need to jack it up a little bit and move it over this tire if I can, so that I can pull this off and see what we have for a clutch. I want to get the clutch out of it so I can put it on my ZF5, see if it'll fit. If it happens to fit, which I doubt, then we'll know what clutch to use, but no. Okay, I got a box of stuff here, and whatever garbage stuff like this I just throw in here. I'm keeping the hoses just for now, especially the power steering fitting. I just want to make sure I have that. But apparently if you use the Dodge pump, a 86 6.9 E-Series or yeah, box fan power steering pump hose will fit the Dodge pump, because I believe they're both Saginaw. So I'll be able to use that and then have it go to my Ford gear. So I'll probably end up ordering one of those hoses and maybe see if it fits in there, because this, I think this is a Saginaw pump too. I'm not sure. It could be, I could be completely wrong, but if it'll fit in there, then shoot, boy, I tell you what. But it's a it's for a Hydro Boost. So my concern is, you know, if I can maybe like cap off the one end or something and then make it just a regular pump, that'd be great, because then I don't have to worry about it. I can just run that pump. But my thing is, that pump is nasty. So I think I might look around for a vacuum pump and power steering pump combo, see how much one of those goes for on eBay, you know, used. And then I'll get one of those, and I'll just buy an AGR Performance Saginaw pump and throw that on there, and then we'll be good to go. And I believe it uses a Ford oil pressure sending unit, so I could get a new one of those real quick. This plug is pretty adamant about staying on there, and I'm thinking I'm gonna run this lift pump. Not this one in particular, but I will run a lift pump like this. So I'm gonna be getting a new one of these and just running that. Just for now. But it's already got a fuel filter thing right on the end of the freaking engine, so I'm just gonna get a Cummins filter for it, so that if we get some fresh fuel filter. And when we change the oil, we're gonna use that Rotella stuff, and then we'll get a Cummins filter for it as well. But I think we'll just freaking clean it up, do some gaskets, and throw a new alternator on it. I don't know if this one charges or not, but I'm putting a new one anyways. It's a Delco Remedy. Well, listen to it. It's done. I'm gonna clean up these water outlets. Clean the outside of the water inlet. It's a little corroded from from not having to be taken apart all the time. So yeah, I just went ahead and took all the miscellaneous crap off. Found out that this little heater hose thing here is a 5/8, so I know what I'm using for heater hose. My 45 feet of heater hose I still have left over. So now, what I'm gonna do, get this. Oh no, you don't. I might need you. Oh no, I'm unscrewing something with my left hand. Got the little dickered plug out of that thing, and that's messed up. I need to find a new one. Hopefully that's a common plug. Find it on a GM or something, I'll snag a new one. Have it in there. I'll show you in just a second. I'm just taking all these clamps and just throwing it right in there. I'm not throwing anything away other than broken connectors, and they're not broken, but this kind of crap I'm just taking out of here and throwing away, and I hope that it not just go down in there. Yeah. Suppose I could set you up on a tripod. I know one thing. We're gonna get a lot of sphincter, AutoZone air tubing stuff, new like couplers. All those things gonna be all tricked out. Just run that clamp around. Get that boot out there. Oh, look at the end of our turbo. I see a little bit. It's got a little bit of end play there. No back and forth movement. Just a little bit. So probably throw some bearings in it. But here's I don't know how well you can make that out. There we go. H1C. I just want to make sure everybody gets a good look at all the stuff. This is how mine came, with the little bandage on it. I'm not sure, but I think maybe we might get a new braided hose. I think this is a pretty common setup, so I could probably find one on eBay and just order it up. I think it's a little dicked right here, so new one of that, new alternator. I think I'll probably just find a part number on this thing and just look it up and just use the one that's on this. That way I can just switch the pulley out. And it does use a serpentine belt, which I'm very thankful for. It's an AC Delco belt. I'm going to show you the part number on it. AC Delco. There we go. Get a look at all that. I don't find these kind of videos on YouTube. It's always some camera phone, and it's it's all this. The video, it's like that, you know, where it's just this tall, and then there's nothing around it. And you're like, this video sucks. This has got the VE injection rotary pump, the Bosch pump. Look at it. Nobody gives you these up close shots. Look at all this stuff on here. Look. I believe this red wire here is what turns the fuel on. And then you got fuel. And then you're like, yeah, let's do this. It's got this crappy pump on it. It's like, looks kind of nasty in there. Fluid didn't look too bad coming out of it, but I don't know. I'm scared. These mounts, those aren't gonna work. I'm gonna have to get something different. I think what I'm gonna do when we're ready to pull the engine, and then we're gonna throw this thing in there. I'm gonna mock up a cardboard mount and see how this will go with our Ford inline 6 setup, and then I'm just gonna take those mock-ups and just go to the machine shop down the street from me, and I'll just have them make me up some mounts, because they need to be pretty much on this angle. There needs to be a flat piece, and there really needs to be a hole or like a slot, so that the motor mount, because your motor mount on the i6 is going to come up kind of like that at an angle, kind of like that. It's going to go in there, you're going to nut it down, and then it's anchored to the truck. That's how I was going to mount it, using the inline 6 frame stands, and then the Cummins liquid filled mounts that go into the inline 6 mounts and then go into the Econoline mounts. This one was a little bit different, but man, look at the brackets though. I mean, look how thick these things are. So I'll have the shop make me up one just like this with the same bolt holes. I'll get these all lined up, have them frickin' make me some holes, and then I'll have them just make a slot right here so that I can adjust it and it'll go in there just fine. So that's what we're looking at. Have one left and right, and then we'll be able to mount it in our truck. And the C6/AOD crossmember, which is what I have in there currently, not to be redundant or anything, but that crossmember will work with the ZF5. You just have to, I think he had to move it. One guy I was reading had to move it either back or forward. I'm not sure. We'll find out when we come to that road. So check out the cobbled retrofit Ford accelerator cable Dewey. Look at how many nuts this has on it. What is that? 5. You got 10 nuts right there, and then you got 2 of them on the other side, so we got freaking 12. Jeez. This is cool. You got the freaking Bosch pump. Oh my god. And you mark your timing right there. That's cool. It's already done for me. Wow, this is insane. I actually haven't had a chance to look at this sticker. 4BT 3.9, 105 horsepower at 2,500 RPM. Oh, look at that. It's a 1990 model. Top dead center 1 degree, is that what that says? 239 cubic inches. So this was built 3/2/90. And it's a Cummins. Here's the starter. Look at the part numbers. This is a Cummins starter, and it's going into the Ford Bellhousing, or the Ford adapter, and then this is just a regular T19 Ford Bellhousing. Wow. Oh my god. I have it. I'm scared. A little bit of play there. That's pretty normal for a lot of fairly high mileage turbochargers. high mileage, like 75,000. So yeah, I think we'll throw some bearings in there. I don't know how hard that would be, but hey, we'll find out. Oh, and you may be asking, because I haven't mentioned this, that we'll check out this. We have a downpipe, and it's actually a good diameter. It's 2.5 inch inside. So I'll end up having this made up to be it'll come out from the turbo 3 or 2.5, and then it'll go to 3. Let's check that out. Got the clamp too. I think that was a good deal for $2,700 bucks. I don't know about you guys. Maybe oh, you could have probably got it for $1,800. And I go, no, $1,800 is like one that's missing everything. I'm gonna take it with it some more and figure some stuff out about this. So I'll put you guys back on if I find anything different. Okay, I didn't want to do this, but I've carefully gone over with this framing hammer and just give these a good tap, hit the head of the bolt, just kind of shock it, break it free to all the bolts, and then it's actually SAE, not metric. I don't know, every time I go to work on that engine, or even like on Adam's S10, it's like, okay, this bolt is SAE, this bolt's metric, and it's a different size. But this one here will be metric too, but it'll be one size bigger. And then the other one will be a size you don't even have. So, I'm busting all these free, putting anti-seize on them. As you can see, I got this one out. They're actually really not that bad. Luckily they put big bolts on them, so you can actually have a chance at getting them out. So these lower ones are going to be something else, though. I'm a little scared. How about this? We don't do a David's farm, and I show you while I'm working on this thing. I've gone through, as I mentioned, and hammered or lightly tapped these all with a hammer, and I have been successful at breaking them free. They've all come undone. So I'm very happy about that. So now I can replace this if I want to. Now I'm not so worried about it, and I'll keep anti-seize on them so that if I do actually end up buying the Steed Speed header for it, we can throw that on there. So what I'm doing is taking these out, just put some anti-seize on them. We're just gonna do it. There's a little bit of rust on here, and this proper size bolt actually allows this to bite pretty good so it doesn't slip at all. Hey, look at that. What I like about this engine is just everything is just solid. Like, I mean, it just sounds like you're hitting concrete. Even the Ford Bellhousing just is rock solid. And these bolts, I mean, they're freaking, I don't think these have ever been out. And this made in 1990. I mean, that's almost like hitting concrete. I mean, the alternator, yeah, you can tell, but all this, never ever hit an injection on it, you know. Oh, it's gonna be a bitch cleaning those off. I want to paint this, but I have a problem with cleaning and getting stuff looking perfect. So this is usually why I buy new, but I'm not buying new injector lines. I'm thinking I'm gonna leave it as is. I'll probably clean up this excess paint stuff and just throw it as is. I might make these valve covers look all shiny, because I could take these off and just, you know, grind them down and then throw them back on there. Let's see what? That's not a half. That's probably something a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is good to go. What size are those you know, those turbo nuts. I'm actually not gonna move this right now. I'm gonna deal with that later when that time comes. Yeah. Now this is gonna be full of puns. Let's see, is that 5/8? Nope. Okay, so this is gonna be, maybe I just, oh, I got a mixed. 9/16. Nope. Okay, I spoke too soon. Freaking fresh battery and it's already got a blip missing. God, my batteries are going bad. 15. Wow, 15 fits it perfectly. Let's see. Should I do it? Should I do it? Huh? Oh. Oh, I thought it didn't take very much. We're popping the first of 4 cherries. Okay. Oh, it's just a little. Oh yeah. Smell it. You know you want to smell it. And that's the inside of the valve cover. Looks pretty good to me. And look at the gasket. It's like it was never gonna leak. Why can't all engines be made like this? You actually be careful, don't tap on these. These are actually cast. And they're fairly thick actually. I think they're aluminum. I don't have my magnetic thingamabobber, but I'm not going to mess with this a whole lot. When we come to it, we will adjust this. This does need an oil change. It's pretty gross. But it's not full of gunk and stuff, so I'm cool with that. I don't know what the tolerances are, so we're just gonna not open a can of worms, but we will adjust these at some point. We'll get a proper like Craftsman feeler gauge or some precision feeler gauge and find the stock spec for this and get this thing just right. I didn't hear any abnormal noises when this thing ran. It just sounded like a brand new engine, so may not really have to adjust anything. If anything, if it's in the truck and it has noise, you could pop one of these off and be like, oh, okay, well, there's a problem. So I'm just gonna seat that on there. I like the individual valve covers. You're like, oh, just, you know, oh, I'll take this off. I'm just gonna just like that. This has a shoulder on it, so it actually bottoms out into the thing. So you just kind of that. Good to go. Oh my god! I can't believe it. I think my eyes are bloodshot. I'm not sure. This freaking alternator is dick. I need to figure this out. Millimeter. Roll gingerly. No, I don't want to lose this hardware. I'm gonna put this through here. Install that. Install that. Okay, so tensioner here is going to be right in the way. So let's pop this guy off. We're going to go with an 11/16. is any hardware. I don't want to have to hunt it down. It was bad enough trying to get this engine. Alright, let's see what we got here. Well, I'm trying to figure out if my Ford fan clutch will fit that. It looks a little bigger though, so we're gonna have to find a fan clutch. I kind of want to keep a mechanical fan on this, so I'm gonna find a fan clutch that will fit that. I should just have an O-ring on it. Oh yeah, that O-ring was about ready to go. Well, the impeller's not all rusty. That's a good sign. Yeah. For this engine, really all you have to do for a water pump is just look up, like, for example, an 89 Dodge W250 with a 5.9 turbo diesel. And you can just get the water pump for that. This is an AC Delco. So AC Delco's a big part of it. God, that's a heavy water pump. Oh, what's this say? This was replaced recently. This is a Dayco. That's who makes the heater hose that I bought. And it's got part numbers on it. I could look that up and buy a brand new one. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got the bastard up off the tire. It's resting half on the oil pan and half on those two blocks there. I got the towel in it to keep it from getting like brown all gooey, and it ain't moving. It's pretty stable. That's why I put the second block there. It lifted it up and keeps it from rocking. So I got Bellhousing off. That is definitely a small block. I compared it to my big block ZF5, and that's there's probably a 2 to 3 inch difference on the top there. Here's the clutch. This appears to be an 11 inch. I mean, that's what the tape measure says. So, I don't know how the hell you fit a 13 inch clutch in this beast. Yeah, I'll just. Well, actually, I could see you fitting one in there. You'd have to have a bigger flywheel, but. So this flywheel goes with this small block Ford setup. So I wonder if Ford was nice enough and made the ZF clutch, at least the pressure plate, with the same bolt holes. Because if that's the case, all I need to do is run down to AutoZone and get me a ZF5 small block clutch, and that'll go right in there. We'll need to knock this pilot bearing out and put a new one in, of course, but I went and checked to see if that fit my big block ZF5, and the splines are too small, or the diameter here is too small. But if we have a small block ZF5, and if the pressure plate is the same, it looks like it uses 9 bolts. Actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, did I just count like a ridiculous amount? Yeah, 6 bolts. Sorry, I don't know where I got 9. Oh, because that. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 bolts. So we gotta look at a ZF5 clutch. This is a pressure plate. And then I think we'll be fine with just a stock clutch. I'm not gonna go crazy with this engine. The whole thing is I just want to keep this engine simple. I want to keep my truck simple. None of this cattywampus crap. So I think we'll keep it simple power. Maybe a little bit in the horsepower, but the torque I'm happy with. So consistent torque. So we got to figure out a clutch. We might get away with using a ZF clutch. I think we'd be okay there. And that should be like $100 or less. So if that ends up working out and bolts to that flywheel, and as long as it's an 11-inch clutch, we just need a transmission. I mean, that would just be slick. It's like, oh, okay, just use a Ford ZF5 clutch, and you're good to go. So I can definitely tell you, we're gonna do a front main seal. Front main seal, timing cover gasket, KDP, oil pan gasket, rear main seal, and I'm not too worried about the valve cover gaskets, but we'll get new ones anyways. Turbo bearings and seals. Our injection pump seems to be fine. It's a little dirty, but other than that, I think it'll be okay. It ran fine. Like I said, it started up, not even a problem. Like he barely touched the thing to the battery, and it fired right over. Fired right up. Got all this jumbo mess figured out. So we got a big thick power wire for the fuel turn on. And then we have this other wire here. Runs down and goes to this oil sending unit. So I'll integrate that into the truck when that time comes. So that's figured out. And then we'll have to just get a new wiring harness for our alternator, and we'll probably try and reuse the same style alternator that came with this. So I think I got that figured out. And then I'll just have to figure out the starter. I'm thinking that should have like a solenoid and everything on it, so that's the new style. So throw a new wire on it. I think that's it looks like a black wire, but it's actually red. I went and took a closer look at it, and it is a red. So that should be for the solenoid, and then this should be for, yeah, this is our thingamajigger. It just goes right in there and freaking pow. So I'm not sure if actually it's got the solenoid in there. This should be hot at all times, and then when this gets power, it frickin' just cranks that bitch right over. So okay, simple enough. I took all the wires out because these are all charred and nasty and covered in oil. So aside from that, I think I pretty much figured this thing out. We got to figure out this pipe. If this turbo is comfortable in this location, I'm gonna go to Cummins and see if I can't get a new pipe. Because I don't need any of that. Don't need any of that. So I'm gonna put the that pipe, the crossover on there, right here. I'm gonna clean this end up real quick. Vacuum the boots and stuff. Vacuum this out. Vacuum there again. Vacuum in there. Get it. Remove any debris. Smash that on there. Cover this up, cover that up, cover the other end up, and then we wait for parts. Probably start ordering some stuff soon. For right now, I just wanted to make this kind of study this engine a little bit, and then show you guys what I got. So it looks simple now. So this tensioner, I want to do new, but it's not too bad. I'll see how much they are. See if I can't get one for a 5.9 Cummins. And then we've got, well, I don't know what I was going to do there. Got the alternator. I swear this is like a GM alternator or a Dodge something rather. It's something. I mean, it's just two wires there and one there. Worst case scenario, if I can't find a plug, I can make some things to go in there. Oh, that regulator's all popped. That thing's not going to charge worth crap. So if we get a new one, I could just make up 2 things to go in there if I can't find a plug, so not all is lost. Or we can just throw a 1-wire GM alternator on it, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited, and I don't feel like I'm gonna throw up now. I'm all good now, so. And I know how to operate that. I was able to lift it up, and Adam was actually the first one to use that. I was like, damn it. But I'll show you what we mean by that. We need an oil change. Look at that. Oh yeah, I'll get some Rotella. Get some Rotella in this bitch. When we end up start driving this thing, I'm going to put a couple 100 miles on it and then change the oil again. So it's got just nice fresh oil circulated through everything. So yeah, I'm excited. So next few weeks, look forward to some gasket videos. I might even pick up an engine stand for this bad boy so that we can do the oil pan gasket safely. Because I don't know about you, but I don't feel comfortable having it swinging on a hoist. And in fact, I think that's the right way, is to use a engine stand when you do stuff like this. Right now I'm working with what I got. So, and yeah, we are putting a new water pump in it. So, yeah, it's going to get the basics. It'll have a Cummins filter. I'm going to get a Cummins fuel filter for it. It'll just be a stock little donkey. And then later in the year, we'll get the Dodge vacuum and power steering combo. And then we'll get our custom brackets made up, unless I find them already made on eBay. Those go pretty quick.